So, Micromax Heat 3, race 17 of the meeting. Let's have a look at the starting grid as we've already got one going grass tracking. And that was the number 37, Christian Stefanov. So, as it was in Heats 1 and 2, and we've got a spinner, and make that 2 or 3 actually. Bit of difficulty off of turn number 2. And yeah, there's a little bit of, I think it's more than just a sprinkle. We could have a light shower on our hands here, but it's Kenzo Craigie and Ivan Chernega, row 1. Noah Janssen, Jente Moonen, row 2. Albert Friend and Lucas L, row number 3. Boaz Maximov, Jensen Chalk, Rory Armstrong, and Uros Bogdanic complete the top 10. Completing the top 20 is Oiva Vetenrata from Finland, Christian Stefanov, Majus Mazinas, Branislav Renka, Vita Koza, Vanessa Silconati, Felipe Reis, Christoph Kilar, Nikita Zhubimov and Boris Verhaag rounding out the top 20. And someone having a bit of a moment going through turn 8. Rounding out the 27 strong, it's Marcel Zibo, Antoine Crissel, Lucas Doder, Jack Freeman, Viti Salmi, Liam Sekol and Didier Krieft. Right, and I think I sense a change in the air. The atmospheric's still very much heavily overcast, and there could be a sprinkling that could put the teams and drivers on notice for the rest of the evening. I very much can guarantee you on that front. Got 7 minutes on the clock, plus an additional lap. And drivers are taking very different lines. So just keeping my eyes peeled. They say that drivers have to have their eyeballs on stalks, so do us commentators. But not very much can be said here when it's at Karting Genk. It's not a bad thing. It always means you get guaranteed action. Drivers trying to get into their relevant grid positions, which they're starting to do now. So Chernega and Sells trying to get into their grid positions. A few more drivers having to do so. Stefanov having to do so, amongst others. Right. Here we go. 8 more races, including this one, to decide what happens at the conclusion of Heat Day. Out of turn number 12, 27 Micromax drivers split. They go into the tram lines, revs rise. Are we ready? We are lights out and off and away. And into the first corner, who's going to get there first? It is hopefully going to be Kenzo Craigie if he's able to do so. We've already got a turnaround, and that is the 47. That is Ivan Chernega. Off of turn 2. And quite a few drivers using the runoff area as the number 33 comes into the side pod of number 17. That was Boris Verhaag on Vito Koza. Kenzo Craigie leading the way. And is that Albert Friend in second? I believe that very much is. The number 90 from Great Britain up into second position. As they make their way down to Europolan. Boaz Maximov not getting the lightning fast starts that we saw in the first 2 heats. And there's been a couple of concertina-ings outside of the top 10. And right, that is the number 37. That is Christian Stefanov. Left rear wheel spinning as the Brit tries to get back out on track. It's not been a good day in the office for Christian Stefanov, but Stefanov manages to get back out underway. As Jente Moonen struggling. Kenzo Craigie leading Albert Friend. And now Albert Friend goes to the inside, uses the curve. Very good astuteness from the Brit there. Closes the door so Kenzo Craigie can't get past. Lucas L trying to go side by side, coming out of the final corner with Noah Janssen. And there has been a massive change up and down the order. Several drivers. Silconaiti has dropped. It's a call at the tail end of the field. It's all about just keeping your wits about you. And Albert Friend from the UK leads the British 1-2. As Kenzo Craigie trying to control the kart going through around the outside of the racing line through turn 6 onto the Europolan. It's not getting any easier out there, if I'm completely truthful. Still have just under 5 minutes plus one additional lap of this race still to go. So it's like skating on an ice rink. Unfortunately, you haven't got a pair of skates underneath you. You've got what is effectively going to be a set of slick tyres. The drivers, if they get to the end of this one, they'll have actually earned a very, very well-deserved rest this evening. 4.5 minutes still to go. And Albert Friend leads the way ahead of Kenzo Craigie, Noah Janssen, and it's Lucas L. Well, actually, I think that's Boaz Maximov. No, Boaz Maximov is in third. Noah Janssen's down in 5th place. So Boaz Maximov, it's taken him a little bit longer to get up to the sharper end of the grid. Not the first customary lap shenanigans that we saw from him. 4 positions on lap 1 in heat 1, and then 5 in heat 2 on the very first opening lap. He's up into P3 as it's the 2 Brits, nearly line astern. So Albert Friend leads Kenzo Craigie. Boaz Maximov rounds out the top 3. Lucas Sell, Noah Janssen, Rory Armstrong as Kenzo Craigie manages to use the curbing through into turn 7 to retake the lead off of Albert Friend on lap number 3 of the race. And the times are reflective of the change in what we've seen. The Micromax drivers were running just over a minute per lap. They're now running in the 1:17s. And Albert Friend is the fastest one out there, 1:17.850. And we've had an issue for the number 66. That's Ivo Vetenrata from Finland, who absolutely smashes the steering wheel with the right hand in complete and utter frustration. And then afterwards, a gesticulation with the left hand saying, what on earth did I do wrong there? But was there an incident? That's the key thing. Are these conditions starting to catch these drivers out? Because if that is the case, they are going to have to watch what they do over the next few laps. Kenzo Craigie has just put in a 1:15.041. As there's Jensen Chalk battling away with Uros Bogdanic. That is for position. That's for 8th on the road. They've got Branislav Renke just behind. And Renke up the inside of Bogdanic to get through off of turn 6 onto the Europolan. 2 minutes and 20 still to go. We have got a yellow flag that was just out, and that was off of Marshall Post 2. That was between turns 3 and 4. As Boaz Maximov now up into 2nd position past Albert Friend. So number 90 from the United Kingdom down into P3. There are some of the other drivers watching on. I think one of them looks to be Jules Avril on the right-hand side there. I think I sort of made it out by the lettering on the back of the race suit between the shoulders. Minimax is up next. But Kenzo Craigie now has a 2.3 second lead, and he is just cruising to the end of it. He took pole position yesterday, but hasn't taken a victory here so far on heat stage. This could help him quite considerably in respect to tomorrow. And there is the number 1. Oh no, more dramas for this time for another Finn. That's Viti Salmi, and that's off of turn number 11. Driver trying to pull the cart via the front, trying to underhook the brake and throttle pedals. And there's more dramas. That's the number 33, which is beached. Oh my goodness, and who on earth is that? That is Boris Verhaak from the Netherlands. And that's right off of the racing line. That's right on the racing line. That's on the entrance into turn number 8. So yellow flags off of turn number 7. So Kenzo Craigie leading, but his lead has been truncated by Boaz Maximov to now 0.8 of a second. And Kenzo Craigie's last lap was 1 minute 15.6. Was Maximov a 1 minute 14.2. But Kenzo Craigie still holds the fastest lap. And we head back to this battle here for 8th place. As Uros Bogdanic trying to go up the inside of Jensen Chalk. That's through turns 3, 4 and 5. Jensen Chalk keeps to the outside, heading into the approach for turn 6. Runs a little bit wide, Bogdanic, and that is Jenthe. So Jenthe has now come into the fray. And Branislav Renka has gone off into the distance. And the clock has struck 0 on the timer. Jensen Chalk trying to get past Bogdanic through into turn 8. So they tussle and they both spin. And Jensen Chalk has pointed the wrong way as a result of that. Bogdanic manages to get away. One more lap remains, and now Boris Maximov is on the slipstream effect, and he's got side by side, he's got past Kenzo Craigie heading into turn number 2. And this battle here, that's Rory Armstrong battling away with Lukasel and Branislav Renka. They are battling away over 5th position as Craigie gets back past Maximov for the lead on the final lap through turn number 4. Kenzo Craigie has got to try and hang on, and Maximov looks to the inside through turn 6. Kenzo Craigie plants the foot down firmly to the floor. And down the Europalan for the 7th and final time. And the gap between them was 10 thousandths of a second between the pairing going on to the final lap when Maximov was ahead of Craigie. Down towards turn 10, there's Albert Friend. And so the gap between them could be about half a second right now rather than 1.8. And through into turn 12 for the final time. The checkered flag is going to wave. It's not going to be a clean sweep for Boris Maximov because Kenzo Craigie, is he going to win here at Genk? He does by 18 thousandths of a second. The closest winning margin all weekend long. Kenzo Craigie held on, kept the foot planted to the floor and pipped Boris Maximov to the race victory by 18 one-thousandths of a second. Boris Maximov had to take second best that time, but Albert Friend managed to get P3 at the end of it all. Noah Janssen in 4th with Branislav Renka rounding out the top 5. So Kenzo Craigie, soak that one up, young man, because he's just won that race by 18 thousandths of a second from Boris Maximov. Albert Friend rounds out the top 3, covered by just over 3.5 tenths. Noah Janssen, Branislav Renka, Rory Armstrong, Lukasel, Jenthe, Uros Bogdanic with Jensen Chalk rounding out the top 10. Rounding out the top 20 is Krzysztof Kila, Nikita Zhubimov, Vito Koza, Majus Mazinas, Felipe Reis, Antoine Crisel, Marcel Zibo, Oiva Vetenrata, Vanessa Sulkunaiti, Ivan Czarnega, Jack Freeman, Liam Sokol, Lucas Stoddard, Didier Krieft, Christian Stefanov, Boris Verhaag and Viti Salmi round out the 27, and all of them finished the race.